Greetings, it's Shaman. This is a Labor Day broadcast, and I'm stepping up to live stream today, like I did yesterday, because I wonder how many people will actually consider what we're celebrating, why we're barbecuing, why we're doing some of the things that we're doing. What's Labor Day all about? Welcome. What is Labor Day? Does it mean you take the grill out and you char up a bunch of dead animals in the park? You go to the liquor store and you kind of, get yourself busted before you go back to the grind tomorrow? Or maybe you are working today. Your love is my love. My love is your love, right? That's not just a song. Labor Day is originally set up, bless up, Tao Tao, and Steve, bless up, Steve. Labor Day is an imaginary thing. There's no such thing as Labor Day. This particular plantation in North America that you call America was entirely built through forced labor and slavitude. So how could you celebrate a Labor Day? Shouldn't it be something else? And do we celebrate a system? A system that enslaves you still today, but in different ways? Do we celebrate that? I'm not trying to be an absolute revolutionary here. I'm long past that from my 20s. But I'm an intelligent, powerful woman, and I'm going to keep saying that. It scares the crap out of people to be an intelligent, powerful being on the plantation, on the sim. If you're going to celebrate Labor Day, why don't we have a meeting virtually, in person, however it needs to be, and why don't we talk about how we can procure seed banks in each community and how we can start to grow food so that these young children don't have to wonder what and how they're going to eat, and they don't have to grow up on, what are the Fruit Loops, Captain Crunch, and all of the crap that's shoved down their throat knowing that they're going to be sick. I have yet to see a young black male that doesn't have an oversized, thick tongue, that hasn't been over-vaccinated, that doesn't have a defunct thyroid and potentially thymus gland. And I have to wonder, what are we celebrating when we should be working? You see, I've told people for many decades now, do you want me to tell you what will surely come? Not because I'm a witch. I'm far greater than a witch. And so are you. A witch is a defamatory name that was given to women that were actually healers and seers. That's our birthright. You're not going to shame me on that one. You can call me whatever you want to call me, and call whomever whatever you want to call them, but it's not really going to matter. Labor Day can be a day that our communities come together and start to plan food for us, and seed banks, and collecting heirloom seeds, cleaning the water, cleaning the air, caring for the ancients, the elders, the aged, figuring out ways that our babies are not having to spend their lives growing up in stranger care, figuring out what we're going to do about the criminals that believe that pedophilia is their right. It's not their right. It's not. You don't have the right to sexually mess with children. And you see, until and unless you have gone through situations yourself, you won't really understand what I'm saying. Hey guys, come on. We don't need to celebrate the fact that human beings labor and toil endlessly and tirelessly until they're no longer able to be on the wheel of samsara, the wheel that philosophy speaks about that goes from birth to death to rebirth continuously and contiguously. We need to think about what we're really going to do to take care of all of our people. What a crime it is to live an unlived life, to believe that you are living a life when it is not really a lived life, to hunker down in sticks and bricks and wonder what will become of me, what will befall me, what will happen to me, what will happen to me when I can no longer produce nuggets for the wheel that sees fit to keep no one. They don't respect elders. They don't cherish the greatest of the elders, the ancients. They don't protect the babies, and they definitely do not take care of the sick. But that's something I want to do. That's something I believe I know how to get us into. Does that make sense to you? You cannot strictly follow the babies because they've never seen or had the opportunity to study. There is a lot of energy being spent today going into liquor stores and buying dead animals and wrapped packages and spicing them up and grilling them on the barbecue. And I'm surely not here to ruin your fun and your day and how you celebrate. I'm not here to guilt trip you. But what if we all got up and collectively and cohesively decided upon what we were going to do to heal ourselves? Because sexual derangements, not knowing your gender, you can hate on me all you want. I don't give 2 cents. Okay? I don't. You are born a male or a female. You are confused because of what you, your parents, your grandparents, your great-grandparents, and your great-great-grandparents have been fed and immunized and treated with. So it has confused you. And if I were to take you out and pack you up with these dogs and walk with me every day and have you on juice and have you on filtered water and have you working towards the goal of true unity, true life, true love, true medicine, true connection, you would unwind from any derangements you would have. You would. You would once again learn to care, connect, be compassionate, have your full dose of empathy, your full onboard intuitive intelligence, and you would never again allow cell phone towers, hospitals that treat people to death, scan the shit out of them, send them home with constant strips of paper to go get their prescript ions. If they really cared about people, then perhaps many, many, many of the healing, coaching, and experiences I've had, including couples that were married for over 50 years, having to be put into separate rooms as they knew they were nearing death, you would see that as absolutely heinous, a heinous violation of human compassion. You wouldn't have African children working in mines. And you wouldn't have people shopping on websites that were using human slaves behind closed doors. You wouldn't. Because all of a sudden your clothing, your jewelry, your hairstyles, your cars, your homes, your couches, your furniture, your big Tempur-Pedic beds, and all of your aches and pains would be gone. And they wouldn't be flooding our landfills. So you can follow, as harsh as it might sound, all the young, good-looking, sexually attractive people you want to. And you can be offended by some of the things that I say because they hurt. And when I was challenged by elders long ago, they stung. I cried. I burrowed away for a couple of days, and then I came back and I said, you know what? You were right. I need to work on that. I do. Do we continue to allow cell phone towers, radiation, plutonium experiments, manganese in our water, and for how long will I share with you that you're missing iodine, that you're missing minerals, that you need to get a hair test, that you need to take care of yourself, that you shouldn't be delivering another baby without knowing what you need to do to care for yourself before you even conceived. And still, your innocent, precious children will be violated, will most likely end up with anxiety disorders under the system with which you live in right now. You will likely become obese and then become MAGA. You'll become MAGA, which is extremely thin. And in between, you're going to wonder, why, oh, why did this happen to me? And I wonder and scratch my head, why do some people have the money when some people don't? I'm not a communist. I'm not a socialist. I'm not any of these isms, schisms whatsoever. I don't belong to any religion, any group, any affiliation. I found it's better not to. You know what I belong to? Mama. I belong to Mama. And many of these youngers that I've educated along the road and told about Mama and told about the connection to nature, their ego wasn't ready. They weren't humbled yet. They hadn't seen some of the things that us elders have seen that could have protected them, that could have kept them from being violated. And every once in a while, like today, someone else has been violated. As a mother, I've seen a lot. I want you to know we don't have to live this way. Okay? As a mother, I'm capable of baring my teeth and being strong as hell because I had to be. As a mother, I'm capable of being soft and kind and loving and making food. We cannot continue this insanity. I warned and I warned 30, 20, 10, 5 years ago. We are heading towards something absolutely unbearable. If we have 60 years of creating first hypersexuality to where more and more people began to be raped, younger children began to be looked at as an energy source, okay? As a mama, I was so hypervigilant because I'm a survivor. I was raped. And you know what? I fucking got over that too. I got over it. To those who more is given, more is expected. I just realized I'm shaking the table. To those whom more is given. I've been given a lot. I have. Not money, not the best looks on the planet, not the biggest breasts, not the most power in the sense of being connected and then I can just, call people and have all my people do whatever I want. But I'm connected to source. I am. I wouldn't have had the mediumship, the medical intuitive, the sights, and the healing, and the profound sensing that I have if I wasn't. And I want everyone to be connected. As parades go on down the street for Labor Day and we celebrate, I'm not here to rain on your parade. People contact me. Most of my work is unpaid. And then the ones who have the most money want the deals. They want the reduced price. Of course, right? And yet, some of my clients that work the hardest for the smallest amount of money are the ones that say, no, shaman, I want to make sure and pay you the full amount. I know what you do. Okay. I'm willing to work for free. Not like our president, not like our Congress people. I'm willing to work for free. To establish a council of elders, I've asked that I need to get mobile to be able to do these things. The system knows. It watches you like a hawk. I could tell you things that would blow your mind. Okay, I could. I'm going to put my reading glasses on and see what you guys have said here. Bless up, Kim. Bless up, bless up. Bless up, James. Good to see you. I got a message this rise from someone whose child has been violated. And it's no surprise. It's happening all the time. What is Labor Day? What is a labor of love? Why, when a woman goes into the hospital, do they say she's in labor? I want you to stop and think about that. Okay? Why is she in labor? Because she's working for the plantation, producing more new beings. They already know what's going to happen to yours. They know. You don't know. I have a pretty good idea. You likely don't know. Okay? I've said this to Anthony. I've said this to Zawa. I've said this to Ben. I've said this to Kim. I've said this to Shannon. You see, once you've been in the Matrix for a long time, nearing 60 years, you know, because you've seen it so many times if you were awake and paying attention. And they'll put you back to sleep. But eventually, like Sis Kim has done, she has dug and dug and dug and dug, and I have shared things with her, and she's done her own research long before she met me. I'm not the know-it-all. I'm not trying to be, I'm just trying to be one of the grandmothers. I'm just trying to be one of these that's connected to Mama who says, I believe I have solutions. But you can't hear me, and I don't know why you can't hear me. I don't know why it's more important for you to go shut off and drink and go to your barbecues and blow up and become busted predictably. Why is that more important to you? Why? You will follow people who will sell you their herbs and sell you their radical ideas and everything else, but you won't listen if it entails cooperation, compassion, and contribution. Why is that? Why? Because it's too much to think about. It's too overwhelming. Okay. Kim, as I quickly perused before I live stream, had a ring on that will help you keep track of all these things. Look up what some of the materials are. Look up what it really means, and look up, because as I started talking decades ago, because my grandmother was reading the Bible in front of me as a young child, she read it entirely, more than once. She read Merlin Stone in front of me and then gave me the book. It's over on my bookshelf here. I went on to read Rian Eisler in 89. I went on to study Maria Gamboutis. And women who think like I do, thanks to them, I think like they do. Similarly, not entirely, but similarly. This system, what we formerly had as an energy matrix over in Egypt, right, is now a larger platform that's being run by different codes. You know them as zip codes. You live in a zipped code. And within that code, you produce a certain amount of energy for this grid. You also go like good little people, good little consumers, because you're basically thought of as a corporate consumer. Okay? And you go and you give your blood gleefully because you want the answer. You want to know what the doctor's going to tell you. It doesn't matter if I tell you that I can easily scan you. Right here, right now, I don't care where you're sitting. You'd be sitting over where Tao Tao's sitting over in South Africa. I can still scan you. And you can too. To be connected is to have supreme intuitive intelligence. But how can you have that if you're so fearful? If you're constantly being put under taxation, not just monetarily, but mentally, right? Because many of the drugs that are put out there to trap. Oh yeah, that's why they put them on the dark net. So you can buy shit nice and cheap. So you can sell it, whatever, because they know who's going to go in there. They're watching. It's their net. It's their dark net. They're not idiots. It wasn't put out there by someone who's, especially fun. It was put out there by the government. I've never been on it, but I've heard enough people talk about it. You got to know what time it is. You might be out there enjoying your life 1 minute and thinking you got it all under wraps. It's all good. You're going to be so much different. You're not going to have any of the problems that shaman had. Not a one. You're going to be different. You're smarter. Every one of the young men here, I've had the same talk. And they don't respect some of the elders. You know why? Because they've been duped. They're on medications. They actually believe in blood pressure, cholesterol, arthritis, you name it. They've got a medication for it all. Labor. What a term to use when a woman is giving birth to a human. She's in labor. And we're going to celebrate that everyone's dreading, for the most part, going back to work tomorrow. We've got adults that are tucked up into their parents' homes because they can't even bear to do it. They don't have the energy to do it. Of course they don't. Been killing their thyroid gland for about 60 years now. The introduction of hybridized wheat, toxic glutens that destroy the gut, radiation, plutonium, what else? And to be fair, human beings have now absorbed the concept that all they have to do is do one thing. Just take one thing. They just take that pill. Just do that. The doctor will tell them what it is. They'll give them the right medication. It'll all be good. That's not true. You don't take one thing. Dr. Sebi says you drink Damiana, Chaparral, blah, 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 so you drink those teas every day. You drink tea every day and it's loaded with tannin and you'll be stripped from the inside out. You better think twice about what you're following. It might take care of you for a minute, but that's not a lifetime habit. A lifetime habit is having a tribe around you that's going to support you and know what to do when you go down. Because you've been vaccinated already, so you've got something that's going to step into sequence. Polio, Lyme's, rabies, cancer. Should I keep going? Do your homework. Every one of those is a sequence. And I'm going to finish with that I took the dogs to the local dog park this morning because I want to get Fire out too, and Fire is a really big boy and he intimidates a lot of people. So as I did a few of my chores, cared for my son a little bit, brought him something to drink, and I got the 3 dogs to the dog park by myself with a gallon, jug of water to contribute some bags to clean up mess, because frequently there aren't any bags there. And frequently I go extra early in the morning and clean up all the extra dog crap and bring filtered water that's alkaline for the dogs and clean up all the cigarette butts that the inconsiderate, unthinking people leave. It's okay because it's like my morning yoga. Like I've said before, I just bend over and pick it up and it's all good. So it's like I'm getting a nice little exercise there. But a young man and his partner, a man and a woman, were standing there with a dog that appeared to be just under a year old, probably about a 65-pound dog, looked like a hound, black hound combination. I don't know what the breed was. It looked different. Happy dog. They had their leash in hand. I said, ooh, I'll be able to let fire in if you're going to leash the dog once you get into the second compartment and leave. And he said, well, the dog's a puppy, so we can't really do that. And I said, oh, okay, fair enough. I'll leave fire in the car for a little bit. I have to do that communication because it's an off-leash dog park and they don't get it. Okay. Well, oh, is your dog aggressive? And I said, no. Dogs are dogs. Some dogs have more prey drive and original ancestral behaviors than others. And larger dogs, when they have prey drive, they intimidate people, especially if you look like fire. He said, well, I said, do you go to dog parks much? Because I want to turn it into a favorable, pleasant conversation and not something that feels like it's, like I'm attacking him because people already aren't easy to budge from their position. And he said, no, we don't. We just had to stop here because we're on a road trip. And so a lot of people kind of make their way through Cloquet and they go up to the Boundary Waters and go to their cabins and haul their trailers and all their toys, their, boats and things like that. And they go up north, or they go all the way to Canada and Land of the Lakes. They cross over the border and then they come back. And most of them are going back to the Twin Cities, Minneapolis and St. Paul. Okay. So here was this young couple and they were from Minneapolis, St. Paul. So that was a road trip that they'd gone up to the BWA, the Boundary Waters and Canoe area. Okay. The Boundary Waters, which is not far from me, is next to the Canadian border, and it's one of the most pristine areas on the continent, on the North America that's left. It's really beautiful. And I've been up there numerous times. So he said, well, we don't bring the dog to the dog park because he's still really young and we don't want him to get sick. I said, you don't want him to get sick? Yeah. I said, the dog's building antibodies coming here from his mama's breast milk to coming to the park and getting, the ability to handle bacteria and the ability to have the mental release of being with other animals. He said, well, I've already got my position. Now listen to the word sound. I've already got my position. Okay. In his mind, keeping his animal highly controlled and remembering that the majority of these younger generations are already thyroid imbalanced, diet imbalanced, over-vaccinated, and stressed. So naturally, you're going to see more generalized anxiety disorder. You're going to see more obsessive, compulsive, ADHD. And that was the ticket to get our children hooked onto the true gateway drugs. Cannabis wasn't the gateway drug. Adderall was, okay? And before that, it was a few other drugs, I remember, okay? You put them on hideous drugs. So, bless up, Chance. Bless up, Quasi. Nice to see you both. So our children were on these drugs. Our children have been continuously experimented with. And people honestly believe in their hearts, and they repeat it to their children, their dogs, their families, that they've got to get themselves totally away from these germs and these sicknesses. Now, the truth is that people are so deranged sexually. Remember, they went from hypersexual to gender confused, right? And then everyone's out, with their rainbow colors at all the pride parades. And we want to love the people. Don't get me wrong. All people are worthy of love. But you didn't see this coming. You didn't. You didn't see it coming. And you immediately can jump on the knee jerk, which is, oh, shaman hates gay people. Oh, you're totally opposed to homosexuals. You just don't like Bhaktiism. Well, I don't. I don't like it, but I accept it. And I love my brothers and sisters. And I know that it's not something they can help right now. But let's be perfectly direct. I'll be perfectly direct. And I'm not afraid to say it. If you give people female hormone for 60 years, the people will become gender confused. That's why we're sending all these people to the endocrinologist to get their hormones tested, and they don't do shit for people besides accrue an $800 bill. That's why I wrote my book, Detox and Heal Your Thyroid. So these folks in the dog park legitimately believe that they're only safe if the vet vaccinates the shit out of their dog, pumps them up full of chemicals to protect them against heartworm and fleas and ticks and everything else. And in the meanwhile, the animal becomes progressively deranged and degenerated, the same way you are. You don't know it, but that's why you're running for your coffee in the morning, which is what I've done under extreme stress time to time, if it's absolutely necessary. And I love the taste of coffee, but I know it's not good for me. And running to their wine and their alcohol at night because they're wound up tight. Okay? You might not like what I say, but listen to it. It was imposed upon you to become hypersexual years and years and years ago, and then they worked you through with the entertainers, putting every black man in a dress, right? Paying them extra. People are really motivated by money. Money gets them that what? That protection. They can take their dog to the vet. They can take themselves to the doctor. They can buy a car with more locks on it. They can buy a house with more locks on it. They can manicure themselves up better and therefore kind of have more power, be more connected. But none of that's real. It seems real on the plantation. He wasn't protecting his dog. He was creating what I've consistently called a neurotic animal. A neurotic animal who has no recourse to leave his home but to be with him. And then he put them in the the dog, in the hot truck and went over and got himself a burger and fries, he and his partner. The dog probably had to look out the window and watch him eat the burger and fries, which was dog food, the burger. Well, he probably got given a bowl of kibble this morning, right? I watch people come and go and eat burgers in front of dogs sitting at the dog park while their dog is going, I want some burger. I want some burger. And the person definitely didn't need the burger, okay? So Labor Day could be a time that we all came together in a family reunion, right? What is a family reunion? We are a world family. What kind of list do you have? My list says, I don't want cell phone towers. I don't want modems in every house. Okay? I know they're here right now and we're using them. I get that. I'm not talking out of two sides of my mouth. But we can create together so that we don't have cell phone towers, we don't have HARP, we don't have polluted water full of bromides that we shower in and drink in and cook our food in. And a lot of people don't have the luxury, damn it, to filter their water or have the kind of foods that a lot of you can go shop for. You're posting all your delicious shit that you're making, but what about the people that are starving and they can't have that delicious shit? They can't have that piece of raw cheesecake and they can't have those things. I mean, they can't. Do they matter? They matter to me. If you're listening to me, you matter to me. If you're hurting right now, You matter to me. Not because I want a big paycheck to run for a political office. I don't believe in politics. Politics, I don't believe in that. I believe in stepping up and working together. Why can't you see that? Why can't we do that? Because we're overwhelmed, because we're tired, because we're too busy trying to get to the grocery store and get here and get there and get to the dollar store and get our toilet paper and figure out how we're going to pay next week's bills and get on bill pay and get them all paid. Run over to the county like I've got to do next week, and pay the property tax, $366. Run over to the insurance guy and hand him $202 for the property insurance, right? And the next thing I know, it'll be the 10th of the month and the house payment will be due. And it's like a vicious cycle. You can run, you can go be an expat, you can go live somewhere else if you want to, but eventually it's going to be there too. And this particular plantation affords its citizens, you're a citizen, right? A citizen, you get to sit the fuck down and do what they tell you. You get to be born with your serve a ticket and you get to be continuously taxed. I don't know why you haven't woken up and you still give blood constantly, but you do. I don't know why you believe you got to go step inside of a big magnet or a big scanning machine, but you do. Okay. I guide people through common sense. That common sense needs to be delivered sweetly, sensibly, and I need to be thinking about many things because people forget, then they blame you. You didn't tell me that. Yeah, I did. Write it down. That's why I ask people to come with a little to sessions with a little notebook, a composition book like this one for this client, okay? And take notes. I do when I'm with a client, I take notes. You should be taking notes on your session too, okay? To those whom more is given, more is expected. If you don't like the life you're living, then help choose to change it. Help choose to change it, okay? What's up, Amber? What's up, Linda? I'm going to finish with something I started with. Okay, turn this on so I can see your comments here. Who built the plantation? Where's the day to celebrate that? Where is the day to celebrate those who were forcibly brought over to build this plantation? Why are we not as empowered as we could be? Why are we not intuitively intelligent? We are not intuitively intelligent because the witch business, the religion business, drove it out of you with a fear never seen before. When the Battle Axe clan, the Indo-Aryans, came over the Caucasus Mountains and rode into the Fertile Crescent and began to slew and murder community by community and pull women out by their hair out of the temples and drag them and took all of our tablets with prophecy for people today. The apple is prophecy. The garden is prophecy. I could keep going. That's why I opened my book with thy rod and thy staff. They comfort me. Or do they come for me? Your brainstem snaps onto your spine. That's by design. Yeah. If you ever look into the ancient story of Dr. Moreau, and you look at what really happened and what they're even trying to cover up for the youth today. So when the youth start going to kindergarten 5 years from now, they're going to hear some kind of warped, distorted story about what really happened. People were whipped, beaten, experimented on, and put to work on this plantation Where's the Labor Day? Where's the celebration? Where's the holiday? Where's the remuneration? Where is it? Where's repaying the families that were so deeply injured? How come we're not all doing yoga and physical fitness and growing our food and cleaning our water and saying, to hell with you guys, man. Get out of here with your chemtrails. Get out of here with your HARP. Get out of here with your radiation. We don't want your freaking microwaves. We don't want your sunscreen. We don't want your damn schools to brainwash our children. Your gentrification. Get out of here with that. Let's get real. I'm not here to be a puppet. I'm not here to be the most beautiful. You know, I have moods. I'm water. Don't you? I wake up and I say, whoa, I got a next day. Okay. I wake up on the floor. I sleep on the floor. The pack sleeps around me. You know what? It's time to get real. It's time to help out the youngers by having elders who are not on medication, not on any alcohol, don't need to smoke up cannabis every night, who are ready to do this work. I'm ready to do this work. I'm not asking to overthrow the government. I'm talking about if I have helped people for 34 years and that person maybe has Parkinson's or lupus or, you know, a really significant thyroid imbalance, or I've had people that their parents have brought, you know, young 20-year-olds and said, they're seriously possessed. There's something really wrong. I have to first observe, listen, what's going on here? Then I'm instructed on what to do, and so would you. This is what we always did. We would know the coming weather. We would know what's before us. Okay? All right. Send you love. I wish you a beautiful day. Okay? If you really want to support a real movement, these 20 and 30 and 40 somethings, they want to get well. They don't feel good. So they're drinking a big thing of tea every day, which will absolutely deplete them. It's great to drink on occasion. They're buying this and that herb because they want the fix, because they're trained, just like the doctor, that this one pill will do it for you. There's balance to everything. Okay? Brother Kwesi can teach people phenomenal insights about the human body because he's worked it. He's an elder who I've met in person who knows the body, his body, our bodies, better than almost anyone I've ever seen. Linda, Kim, every one of us has something to contribute. I don't want to live a life where I felt like I could have done something, and I'm laying on my deathbed and I go, I could have done it, but I was kind of sheepish about speaking up about it. I kind of wondered if I looked pretty enough, because the people that they follow on Facebook always need to be really pretty with a lot of makeup on and keep it really fake. Okay, guys, that's not me. I'm real. I'm not. Okay. I'm not going to put a face full of makeup on and everything. I could. I'd probably look really different. I could. Okay. But I'm me. I'm real. This is me. I earned this. Okay. I want our people to have a chance. I want our children not all to be funneled into, pedo criminals. Thank you, Kim, for posting that bombshell Beaumont children video. I watched the whole thing. I wanted to vomit because there will be a day that I will tell my story. And when I do, hell will catch on fire. Okay. All right. So for the time being, 9/9 will be a day when the moon is low. That will be a time that you can build a fire once it gets dark. You can ask for protection. Okay? Don't be afraid of the power. Don't be afraid of what you can do. Get yourself a bundle of wood at the convenience store, a little fire pit, or dig a little hole. And on September the 9th, when the moon is dark, sit outside and vision on that fire like I will be doing. Vision what you want. From a pure heart, a clean heart, righteous relations. Picture it. Let's see what we can do together. See you later.